Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events. Now, as you know, Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events, is a 2004 adventure black comedy film that was directed by Brad Silburn, who also did the film Casper the Friendly Ghost back in 1995. As well as that the film itself is meant to be a close adaptation to the 13 books by Lemony Snicket, who is meant to be the pen name of Daniel Handler. And of course, the film is meant to be an adaptation of the first three novels, The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, and The Wide Window. Now, the premise of the film is meant to be about Violet, Klaus, and Sunny, who tragically become orphaned after a mysterious fire destroys their home and their parents tragically die. So, of course, we see how Mr. Poe, who's maybe the family banker, takes them to sort of be in the care of Count Olaf. And of course, there is more truths about Count Olaf than there is. And I think what makes Count Olaf work as a villain is that he kind of has this way of manipulating people to get what he wants. It's kind of clear he's after the kids' money. So of course, after something that happens, we see how Klaus, Violet, and Sunny are taken from one guardian to the other one. And of course, there are more truths about these guardians than there are, and more truths about a sort of secret cult than there is. And we kind of see how Count Olaf is determined to get the children back, no matter the cost. And I would say, I get it, there are people of the fans of the book series who doesn't really like the film as much, but for me, I personally enjoyed it. I think what makes Jim Carrey's role as Count Olaf work is he kind of gives this deranged but kind of menacing villain-like feel. And I think it's Jim Carrey does playing Count Olaf. And I think, in my opinion, what actually makes Jude Law work as Lemony Snicket is when he's on the typewriter writing his stories. You can tell he tries to be realistic with his stories, and you can kind of tell when he does kind of joke around a little bit, like when he jokes about the typewriter being jammed up when the snake part comes, when he sort of has a bit more like not gonna write what happens to the guardian who's grammar obsessed, and does take it with a, like saying, well, you get the picture, like saying, well, you know what happens. And I think it's like looking at how a writer does their stories, like how Brian Jock is a bit more realistic, showing the good side and bad sides of some of the animals in Redwall. You kind of got Roald Dahl showing his kind of BFG story, showing that the BFG wasn't completely a bad guy. Or it's kind of like looking at animation with Rebecca Sugar doing Steven Universe, trying to forcibly redeem characters. Or it's kind of like looking at Thomas Astruct, where he's trying to be realistic to the fans, showing that there are people like Chloe who just can't be redeemed too quickly. And I think that's a perfect style, in my opinion. And I would say, for the most part, as the film, it has that Tim Burton feel. And I think Brad Silberman definitely did right at is giving the film that sort of Tim Burton feel. And I think it's like looking at the film Casper. It tries to be a comedy sort of film, but it takes things seriously at times. And I think with Lemony Snicket, you can tell they do try to take things seriously, like how Violet, Klaus, and Sunny do try and warn Mr. Poe and other people of Count Olaf. And it's kind of clear that Count Olaf has a backup plan every single time. Like, he knows how to manipulate people, he knows how to make the perfect disguises, and really, this does work. And I know there were also plans to sort of do it as a film series like the Harry Potter ones, which never really got around off the ground. And I know there was also meant to be, and I also know as well, there is a sort of Netflix series that pretty much ran all the way to 2019. And I know the Netflix series got a better sort of fandom. But I think to me, even though this film didn't get a film series, and even though it's more of a hit and miss, I personally enjoyed it. It's basically trying to be realistic, but not trying to take things as serious, but still keep true to what the books are. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.